Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. FPL Consult here. Videos are finally back. I do have to apologize for the lack of content over the past few game weeks. I went on a holiday and when I got back, it was the midweek deadline, game week 14, and very quickly after that, it was the game week 15 deadline already. So it was a very tight turnaround, and unfortunately, I was not able to put out any videos consistently or any deadline streams. But from game week 16 onwards, we are back to, business as usual. Content will be back for you guys, starting with this transfer plans video for Game Week 16, of which I've already made 3 transfers. And I don't usually move early, but I've had to move early because there were lots of price changes happening, or as I'm recording, have already happened to the players that I was going to bring in. So I'll share that with you guys in today's video, and also talk a bit about my future transfer plans as well. So if you guys enjoy the video, please do drop a like. Please do subscribe as well so you don't miss any of the new videos coming. And I won't beat about the bush. I'm going to start off with the 3 transfers that I've already made so far. The first move is to kind of reverse the mistake that I made on my Game Week 8 wildcard by going for Nick Pope. The difference between going for a Newcastle defender and a Newcastle keeper is that if it was a Newcastle defender, for example, Dan Burn, and they are playing difficult teams, for example, Manchester City, I can just bench Dan Burn, right? I don't have to start Dan Burn every single week. But the thing with Pope is that he is my first choice starting keeper. Obviously, when Dubravka is the second choice on the bench, I'd rather not play the Burnley keeper. So I have to start Nick Pope every single game week. But as opposed to someone like David Raya, who comes from a much stronger and more solid defense, I prefer that. And then kind of rotating between the other options in defense. So that was a mistake I think I made on the Game Week 8 wildcard, reversing that, even though Arsenal have not kept many clean sheets in the last few games. In fact, the stat is actually in the last 5 games, they've only kept 1 clean sheet. So 4 times they've kind of conceded goals, which is not something that we're used to. But I think it's also circumstantial in that Gabriel and Saliba have been missing for them. And these 2 players bring such defensive solidity and also leadership to the team. So I think once these players are back, Saliba will be back very soon. The Arsenal defense will tick along again. So this is a move for the long term. I still think David Raya, even though he is more expensive now, is worth going for, just as a set and forget keeper for me for the rest of the season. So reversing the mistake here, I have David Raya. Second move is to go for Phil Foden, who's a player I think cannot be ignored at this point. He's just in such good form, and the fixtures moving forward are really, really there for him. Yes, he will play Real Madrid in midweek. I am taking a gamble that he will come out of that game unscathed. And the thing with kind of Game Week 16 for him is that he's playing Crystal Palace away. So I don't think in and of itself it's a very good fixture. And he's probably not a must-own for Game Week 16. But for me, I think it's mainly the fact that there will be many price changes for him coming up, starting with the one that already happened to bring him to 8.5 million now last night. And overall, I think Phil Foden, looking at the fixtures, is a player that eventually I will want. So this is kind of a move to protect a bit of team value, jump on him, and maybe he gets something against Crystal Palace, but for sure from Game Week 17 onwards against West Ham, I want him in my team already. So save a bit of money, buy him now when he's cheaper, and just start him. So Phil Foden in, and there you see I have kind of minus 1.9 in the bank. To fund this move, I've actually, I had to look around, right, in my team. And because I'm kind of making early transfers, the only player that I think I'm very certain that I would remove is Jean-Philippe Mateta. He has Man City in Game Week 16. Yes, Leeds in Game Week 17 is an alright fixture, but Leeds obviously has been playing pretty well. They did win Chelsea in midweek and also draw Liverpool last night. So I don't actually think this is per se a particularly good fixture. Then after that, the fixtures do start to get a little bit tricky for Mateta as well. He also is not a player that is playing 90 minutes every single game week. So he's a player I've been wanting to ship out. So it did kind of make sense for me to sell Mateta and go for Raul Jimenez, who from Fulham is pretty much guaranteed to start until Rodrigo Muniz comes back, which is not going to be anytime soon. And with the fixtures coming up for him, in 16 it's Burnley, in 17 it's Forest, in 18 it's West Ham. This set of 3 fixtures does look pretty good. It's more of kind of a medium-term move. I don't mind kind of benching him for some weeks as well, especially when he has these set of tougher fixtures, and then starting him in a again when he has those better fixtures. So for me, at that kind of a price point of 6.2 million, I don't mind going for him, free up some money from Jean-Philippe Mateta to afford this move. Now, it says here minus 0.1. But because I've already made those moves early, which is to bring Raya, Foden, and Raul Jimenez in, I actually have extra money in the bank right now. So that's kind of the benefit of moving early before the price changes, but obviously taking a bit of a gamble that all of these players will either come out of the Gameweek 15 game unscathed, or the midweek as well when they play Champions League. Real Madrid will be playing Man City, so Phil Foden, I will be keeping an eye out for his fitness. But assuming all goes well, and they're all fit, I think looking at my team for kind of Game Week 16, this is likely how I would set up. So I'd probably bring O'Reilly in, obviously, against Crystal Palace, as opposed to starting Munoz against Man City. And this is likely how I would set up. Captaincy, could go either ways. I could choose to captain Thiago, but we'll talk about captaincy as we go later on in the week. I think one of the main decisions for me would be whether to start Minte against Liverpool away, or play Anderson here from Nottingham Forest against Tottenham. So this would be kind of the main decision for me. I don't think I would spend a transfer to sell Semenyo, because Semenyo does have, in Game Week 17, Burnley at home, and Manchester United away is a fixture I think Semenyo could get something. Now, my thoughts about Semenyo is actually that he's been quite unlucky not to get some returns. The fact of the matter is that Evan Nielsen has just been playing so poorly that he's kind of robbed Semenyo of a couple of good FPL returns for the past few weeks. There's so many times where Evan Nielsen has missed clear-cut chances, and those could have been assists recorded for Semenyo. So I think Semenyo owners have been pretty unlucky. And overall, I also don't want to be in a position where I use up all my 5 free transfers. I think it's okay to have Semenyo here and then kind of tide through, get him for the Burnley game here in Game Week 17, and then reassess as well. But now moving on to my future plans and how I intend to use the extra 2 transfers that I have later on, and also the transfers that I get as we move along. Slightly further down the line to Game Week 18 is when I would have 4 free transfers, assuming I don't make any further transfers now in 16 and also in 17. I do plan to make quite a few moves. The first one would actually be to bring in a Everton defender, because fixtures from Game Week 18 onwards for Everton do look pretty good, and this is also a time where I think I don't mind selling Munoz already. So I could probably do something like Munoz to Tarkowski. This is the first move that I have planned. It could be Michael Keane. We'll see, if I need more budget at the when the time comes around, or I need to kind of save money for other transfers. But for now, I have Tarkowski planned in here for Munoz. And I also do plan to bring Keenan Dewsbury-Hall in, because he has been looking really good and worth the 5 million that we're paying. I think he's right now the best budget enabler. And from Game Week 18 onwards, starting with Burnley, the fixtures are actually really, really good for Everton. So here we go with, Keenan Dewsbury-Hall. And with these 2 transfers planned in Game Week 18, I do have the option whether I want to stick with Semenyo, or do I want to kind of sell him, move him on for another player, but I will have 8.2 million for this. And I'm currently at this point not fixed on which player I want to bring in. But at this kind of a price point, I could consider, if Dominic Szoboszlai continues to look pretty good, and if hopefully Liverpool do turn a corner, because this is looking like a good week to bring Liverpool assets in. I mean, it's Wolves, Leeds, Fulham. Arsenal is tricky, but then there's Burnley after that as well. If I can have some form of rotation, I don't actually mind bringing Szoboszlai, because he's a player that has been playing the best for Liverpool so far. So we'll see. But obviously, when we talk about Liverpool players now, it's as if nobody wants Liverpool players. People are obviously thinking about selling Van Dijk as well. So we'll see. I don't think I would be doing that in Game Week 16. But yeah, in Game Week 18, it's a possibility that I could go for Szoboszlai, but he is obviously on 4 yellow cards. Aside from that, some of the other options that I could look at from Game Week 18 is actually Bruno Fernandes. Now, the thing with Fernandes is he's just rather expensive, and I don't think he's a very exciting asset to own. He's just someone that will continue to tick along, which I don't mind, right? And this would then mean that instead of going for Tarkowski, I have to go for Michael Keane. So lots of moving parts here, but a rough skeleton in terms of my plan is to bring in Everton players in Game Week 18, look for a Semenyo replacement in Game Week 18 as well if I want to replace Semenyo, And coming back to Gameweek16 now, the 3 transfers that I've already made: Raya in, Foden in, and Raul Jimenez in. So let me know what you guys think of my transfer plans and also future plans from Gameweek 18 onwards. How you guys are getting along for Gameweek 15. Did you have Foden? Did you have Keenan Dewsbury-Hall? I'm sure you guys, if you had them, are doing really well. Let me know your plans in the comments down below as well. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Videos are finally back. I apologize again for missing so many videos in game weeks, but we're back. I hope you guys are excited for videos on the channel as well. Drop a like if you are, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one very, very soon. Bye-bye.